Hey everybody, Aaron here. Welcome back to another anime review. Today we look at episode 7 of the King's Game, or Ousama Game. Now, I do want to make one correction. Yes, I found out by rereading a little bit, that yes, Nobunaki never made it to the actual village, and I think I've been saying that since episode 4 or 5 around that. Because I always thought that he did plan on going there, but then was knocked out by that one girl and then sent to the that gymnasium storage facility. But I know that there is mention of the village, and we do see glimpses of it. So that's what I think confused me about it, to be honest with you, and I apologize for that. But one thing that I do also want to make probably clear too is there is an actual prequel story to the King's Game, technically, which takes place 30 years before the whole series. It's actually in the village. It's the first time the King's Game's ever recorded in terms of the starting point of the story. So you could go check that out for more information if you needed more of that. I'm actually going to read that myself because I actually am curious about that. But besides that, though, you really shouldn't have to if you don't want to. But it's up to you if you're really liking the show or not. You know how I feel about the show. I'm like, kind of hate it right now. It's this week's episode at least was a saving grace in many ways because it had what I've been asking for, is no flashbacks. There was still kind of flashbacks, but it was in one moment section, so it's not really a big deal. But we get to the village finally. We actually get to explore the village, and we learn some small details, not really anything major, but we do learn some interesting things. Probably one of the bigger revelations is that Chemi from the first King's Game was actually her father was in that village. I think their name is Honda, and he also finds out, or Nobunaki finds out that Chemi had a twin sister, or a sister, it looks like, who was actually the girl that is basically evil in this one, Natsuko. So maybe that's the reason why she's so after our main dude, because of that. But I'm sure we'll find out very soon. I don't think this show is gonna keep us in anticipation too long. But obviously Kenta and Mizuki died. Kenta tried to make it so where she would send the messages to other people, but the King's Game was like, no, that doesn't count. I'm like, come on, realistically, she wanted to send those messages to those people anyways, and she was going to send them to Kenta at one point. So come on, and he literally made it so her hand was the one that sent the messages, and yet it still did not work. And because he failed her in the process, he died because he failed to protect her, and that was one of his own orders to himself. So it's like, the King's Game is like full of loopholes. Like, oh, if you don't do it this way exactly, you're screwed. No, it's over. But yes, as we see, there's only 11 people left in our King's Game. I do not care about any of them except for Nobuyaki and probably Natsuko, because I'm curious what her backstory is now more than ever. But yeah, who cares about any of these other people? I think that's the problem with also the King's Game, is that the first major game, in the manga, you came to care about several of the classmates in the thing. Not everyone, obviously. I don't think that's the point of the show, is to make you give a shit about everyone. But you do come to realize that some of them are important and some of them have lives, obviously. And this one, because we're really only focusing on Nobuyaki's past and very little of everyone else's past to a point, it's not really giving you that kind of feeling of like, oh, I should care about this person, because it's like Classmate 8. Who cares in a regular? And I've made this joke before in the past. Like when you go to a mecha anime or something like that, you have the hero, obviously, the one that's a high school student who's bound to be the new type pilot, or the pilot that's going to be able to control the mech, and his friends are going to be left off on the wayside. Realistically, half the time, you will barely ever see. I think I said bubbly almost. You'll barely ever see his friends. You'll never see anyone else but the main character, and it becomes where it's like a student A, student B kind of concept, because if they die, you'll be like, oh no, that guy died, but then at the same time, be like, well, why should I care? And that's the same issue with this, where you have so many characters dying off, but who cares about half these people? It's a shame they died, yes, obviously, but what was their story? What was their backstory? What made them so special in the story that you should care about them? And I think that's a big issue with any killing game type anime or manga or anything, is to make a whole bunch of characters that you don't care about. Even for example, Battle Royale, which is the ultimate killing game. The reason why that's considered my favorite killing game of any type of manga, and just in general, is that every student has their history. You get to see every student, and even if it's brief, even if it's only a mention or something, you give them a kind of purpose, you give them an image, you give them a feeling of actually being alive. and that makes you care about when they die. It's like, oh crap, that guy died. I would have loved to see more of his story. Or, oh man, he died because, you know, he went to protect someone that he actually cared about. You know, or she died because she was trying to protect someone. That makes it, you give a crap about these people. What's happening in the King's Game that these people are not like, oh, should I feel bad for that one dude that barely was over there? You know what I mean? But yeah, it is what it is, you know. Ultimately, still don't like the show. I still think it's pretty damn bad. You know, I do apologize to the few people that I was like, yeah, I'll keep defending it. I'll be like, I'll give it, you know. But I had a feeling in the pit of my stomach that this was gonna happen. So it is what it is. Anyways, what are your guys' thoughts? Do you kind of agree with my statement about the whole killing game concept? Like, why it needs to be done a certain way so you care about these characters? Let me know in the comments below, and I will talk to you guys later. I have Inuyashiki episode, I want to say 6 or 7 also. I should have that reviewed later. Only reason I don't have that right now is because I actually am watching with my dad, and I kind of want to watch the next episode with him. So, you know, if it's like 6 o'clock, I'll probably watch it myself and then just watch it again with them, but we'll see what happens. Anyways, I'll talk to you guys later. Have a blessed night, everyone. God bless you all. Bye-bye.